Over the past century, the field of medicine assures us that in an accident, everything possible will be done to save lives. However, there are circumstances where medicine and science encounter limitations to be able to accomplish its objectives. Treatment is no longer effective or possible. The patient can have a voluntary request to end their suffering by means of euthanasia, and/or the relatives can decide for the patient if he or she is unconscious, too young, mentally disturbed, and severely brain damaged. Although euthanasia has been practiced since ancient times, it was not until the 1970s that it became a global issue of controversy.
Good evening, I am Dr. Leymar, a neurologist. Who is the wife of the patient?
Ako po.
May I speak with you privately? Mrs. De La Cruz, the patient has been in coma for 1 month now. The patient has developed grade 4 glioma brain tumor arising from brain cells called glial cells. There has been no signs of improvement on his brain since he went into a coma.
Dok, paano po yan? May chance pa po ba na magising siya?
In this type of tumor, he has approximately 6 months or so to live.
Hindi ko na po alam ang gagawin ko. Dok, pwede ko po ba kayo makausap? Ilang araw na po kasi ako nag-iisip kung ano pong magandang gawin. Nakikita ko po bawat araw. Yung asawa ko nakahiga ron, hirap na po siya. Wala na rin po kaming pangtustos ng mga anak ko sa bahay.
Mrs. De La Cruz, meron po tayong mga medical practice para po sa mga specific conditions katulad sa asawa nyo. Ito po ang euthanasia. Ito po ay isang lethal injection na ituturok sa pasyente. Maaari po natin ito isagawa ayon sa kagustuhan ng pasyente o ng relative lalo kung unconscious or mentally ill na to.
Pag-iisipan ko po, Dok.
Just let me know kung nakapag-desisyon na po kayo.
Ano ka mo, Joanne? Gusto mong padaliin ang buhay ng anak ko?
Immoral yan! At parang pinatay mo na yung kuya ko.
Hindi ho sa ganun, Ma. At ayaw ko lalo makita siya na naghihirap. Lalo na ngayon wala na tayong pera pambayad sa ospital.
Hindi ako papayag. Babayaran natin yan kahit mamatay ako.
Teka, ayan ba yung sinasuggest ng doktor? Ikaw, hindi ba ang trabaho nyo ay gawin ng lahat para gumaling yung kuya ko? Anong tinutunga-tunga nyo? Doktor ba kayong may tatawag kung papatayin nyo yung kuya ko? Ha?
Ang trabaho nyo ay magbigay ng lunas na iintindihan mo? Hindi ako papayag na patayin mo ang anak ko.
Several advantages should be considered carefully in euthanasia, bearing in mind that it is an emotionally driven and frequently contentious subject. First, seeking medical assistance is expensive. Low-class families have no means to continue the treatment, even if they wish to. Hence, the patient will no longer feel miserable about being a burden on others if they can receive euthanasia.
Second is dignity in death, as this is the only way out of suffering for some people. These individuals may have no medical alternatives presented to alleviate their pain, hence refusing any medical care and resorting to euthanization. This is particularly true when the patient is near death and experiencing great sufferings.
Third, a person may have a willful request to end their life because certain individuals may prefer to be euthanized in order to live the reality that is no longer acceptable, more bearable. It is conceivable that this choice will be made due to particular reason such as severe chronic pain, terminal illness, or even severe mental distress. A right to life.
Lastly, no one has the right to keep someone alive if it's against their choice or wishes. This assertion states that a person can choose not to receive any medical care even at the benefit of saving their life, such as providing resuscitation at the brink of death. The argument implies that if someone decides they no longer decide to live because of a fatal illness or excruciating pain, they should not be forced to continue living against their will.
Mrs., you have all the right to decide for your husband because you are the wife.
Nakapag-desisyon na po ako, Dok. Ito na lang po ang magagawa ko para sa asawa ko. Ang palayain siya. Ang tagal na niyang nilalabanan ng sakit na to. Nakita kong naghihirap na po talaga siya.
The concept that individuals should be able to take control over their suffering uniquely impacts each family and individual depending on their circumstances. Seeing someone you love in an unbearable state is the worst. Given that death can be anticipated, it may be better to acquire physical peace rather than to continue living for a few more months having to deal with physical or and mental suffering each day.